Let's just imagine that somebody has a spice cabinet and they go into their spice cabinet and they take a look at all their spices, and what they find are black pepper, garlic powder, thyme, cinnamon, oregano, and rosemary. I just happened to Google spices, and those are the ones that came up. All right. So they take out the spices, they come in the little bottles or whatever, and they take all the labels off of them. And they put them in, each one of these spices, they put them in identical containers, and they label all of them spice. Then they put them back in their spice cabinet. Now, when it comes time to get spices for a particular meal, when you're preparing dinner, which spice are you going to choose? Well, it doesn't matter because, a spice is a spice, right? That's kind of silly. That's kind of absurd. Yet some people want to do that to those of us who have autism. They want to take away our labels. There are some people who have high-functioning autism, some people who have low-functioning autism, and there's a spectrum across the board, everywhere in the middle. They want to take away those labels so that you can't tell the difference. All right, now imagine this. Taking this just a step further, imagine that somebody went into their medicine cabinet and they took out all their meds. I don't know what meds you were on. Hopefully you're not on any, but if you're like me, you got a bunch of them. I think the word in French is beaucoup. So we got beaucoup spices and beaucoup meds. So imagine if you went to someone like me who has a lot of meds, went to the medication cabinet and took out all the meds and ripped the labels off of them, put them in identical containers, and they just said meds. Put new labels on them. They're just meds. Because we don't want to discriminate between one medication and the other because, a med is a med. A medication is a medication. A prescription is a prescription. Is that true or not? Well, that is totally insane. Nobody would do that. Yet there are those people who want to do it to those of us with autism. They want to take away our labels. Those labels are there for a reason. High functioning, low functioning, intermediate functioning, type 1, type 2, type 3, Asperger syndrome, all of those labels are there for a reason because, like spices and like medications, we're different. We're not all the same. It's totally insane to say that we are the same because we're not. We're different. Why can't we just acknowledge that? Now, having taken those two examples, let's take another example. I have moderate kidney disease. And when I go to the doctor to get a blood test, they send back the results. And among the results are the filtration rates of my kidneys. Now, I notice when I look at that report that the ideal filtration rate for me is different than the ideal filtration rate for a black person. So what happens if we take away those labels? Well, our medical treatment is not going to be very good. And that's just one example of probably, dozens, hundreds, thousands, I have no idea. But those labels, those distinctions, those characteristics are there for a purpose, and that is for better treatment. So what we say is those labels are necessary for correct treatment. Now, seriously, stop and think about this for a second. A person with high-functioning autism should get the exact treatment as somebody with low-functioning autism. Well, that's just silly, right? Well, how do you know? How do you know which treatment to give to whom? The answer is you got to have those labels. You got to have the identity. So there is this movement on. I know we don't talk about politics on this channel. Don't talk about social issues, but there is this identity confusion movement, and they're taking away our labels, and then they're adding labels, which are nonsensical. That is just flat out dangerous. This is not about social justice. It's not for it. It's not against it. It's about being reasonable. It's about being practical. So let's keep our labels because we need them. They are necessary. They are essential for proper treatment. See those two rectangles on the screen? If you want to keep on talking, all you got to do, click one of those two rectangles and the conversation will continue. If not, thanks for stopping by. And we will see y'all next time.